There's other simple sugars that are disaccharides that are common. There's 3 common disaccharides that you may have heard of. Sucrose I just showed you, and it's a combination of the monomer called fructose and glucose, and that's common table sugar. Another common disaccharide is lactose. Lactose is also called milk sugar, and it's made of 2 monomer units, galactose and glucose, and galactose looks a lot like glucose. It's a 6-membered ring. It's just the OHs are arranged slightly differently, like above or below the plane of the ring versus the glucose. And you may have heard of lactose because you've heard these words before, lactose intolerant. And lactose is milk sugar. So here it is, a carbohydrate that's found in milk. And what happens is some people, actually 80% of the world's population, lack the enzyme. Well, their bodies stop producing the enzyme after they grow out of childhood. And slowly over time, their body stops producing this enzyme. And the enzyme is called lactase. And the job of lactase is to break down galactose and glucose to help digest it. Okay, and so what happens is if your body does not produce lactase, then you can't break down the galactose and glucose, and so it can't be digested as easily. It can't cross over the tissue between the stomach and the intestines, and so it gets built up in your intestines, and bacteria eat it. That's why people who are lactose intolerant get really bad stomach aches, cramping, gas, diarrhea, whatnot, because the bacteria is having a feast on this sugar that was not digested by your body. So you'll hear people take lactate pills. Those are pills that have the enzyme lactase in them to help people digest sugar. Digest this particular sugar, which is called lactose. Maltose is another common disaccharide. This is a little disaccharide made up of a glucose and a glucose, 2 glucose monomer units to make this disaccharide. It's also sometimes called malt sugar. It's found in barley seeds as the seeds are starting to break down the starch to provide energy to the plant. It has a sweet taste, but it's about half as sweet as glucose and about 1/6 as sweet as fructose. It is, you've heard of malt, like malt liquor maybe, or malt in beer and stuff. So it's a kind of a breakdown product of starch that the yeast that ferment the alcohol will eat this particular starch, the malt, which is the maltose, to make ethanol, you know. And so anyway, you've heard of malt liquor. That's what they're talking about, is there's still some malt sugar in it. And then it's not as sweet, but this maltose is used as a sweetener in Asian countries. And the most common way to consume it is to put a layer of it between 2 pieces of biscuit, like crackers. Okay, so although we may not be quite as familiar with it here in the western part of the world, in the eastern part of the world, this particular disaccharide is used as a sweetener. We use sucrose. Okay, maltose is used in other parts of the world as a sweetener. Okay.